Since ancient times, humans have dreamed about becoming invisible. Stories from different cultures describe magical rings, cloaks, or powers that allow a person to disappear. In mythology, invisibility was often seen as a gift of the gods, giving someone the ability to move without being seen. In modern times, invisibility became a popular idea in movies and science fiction. From fantasy stories to Hollywood films, the idea of disappearing from sight has always fascinated people. But the question is, can invisibility really exist in the real world? Today, science is exploring this idea seriously. Researchers are studying how light works, how objects become visible, and whether it is possible to bend light around something. If light can be controlled, then invisibility may not be impossible. To understand invisibility, we first need to understand how we see anything at all. We can see objects because light hits them and reflects into our eyes. When light from the sun or a lamp falls on an object, the object reflects some of that light. Our eyes receive this reflected light, and our brain creates the image we see. If no light reaches our eyes, the object becomes invisible. For example, in complete darkness, even a large object cannot be seen. So the key to invisibility is simple in theory. If we can stop light from hitting an object, or stop it from reflecting back to our eyes, the object will disappear. But doing this in reality is extremely difficult. Scientists believe the best way to create invisibility is not by removing objects, but by bending light around them. Imagine water flowing around a rock in a river. The water moves around the rock and continues forward, as if the rock was not there. Scientists want light to behave the same way. If light can move around a person and continue on the other side, the eyes will see only what is behind the person. This would make the person appear invisible. This idea is called light manipulation, and it is the foundation of modern invisibility research. But bending light is not easy. Light normally travels in straight lines, and changing its path requires special materials that do not exist naturally. However, scientists have already created materials that can do this. And this is where the real story of the invisibility cloak begins. For a long time, invisibility was only a dream. But in the early 21st century, scientists made a discovery that changed everything. Researchers began studying special artificial materials called metamaterials. These materials are not found in nature. They are designed in laboratories to control how light moves. Normally, light travels in straight lines. But metamaterials can force light to bend, curve, and even go around objects. In 2006, scientists created one of the first experimental invisibility cloaks. It was very small, and it only worked with certain types of light, but it proved something amazing. Invisibility was no longer just science fiction. It had become real science. An invisibility cloak does not make an object disappear. Instead, it tricks the light. When light reaches the cloak, the special material guides the light around the object. The light travels around it and comes out on the other side, almost as if nothing was there. To the human eye, it looks like the object is invisible. Think of it like water flowing around a stone. The water continues forward, and the stone seems to vanish in the flow. But making this happen with light is much harder than with water. Light moves extremely fast, and controlling it requires materials built at a microscopic level. Scientists must design structures smaller than the wavelength of light itself. That is why invisibility technology is very difficult to create. The secret behind invisibility cloaks is metamaterials. These materials are made from tiny structures arranged in very precise patterns. Instead of blocking light, they change how light moves. By controlling the structure of the material, scientists can decide exactly how light will bend. This allows them to guide light around an object. Some experiments have already made small objects invisible in laboratories. Scientists have hidden tiny objects from certain cameras and even from microwave detection. However, these cloaks still have many limits. They often work only for one color of light, one angle, or one small object. Making a cloak that can hide a human is much more complicated. But scientists are getting closer every year. And the next question is, could humans really become invisible in the future? Making a tiny object invisible in a laboratory is one thing. Making a human invisible is something completely different. A human body is large, complex, and constantly moving. To make a person invisible, light must bend perfectly around the entire body from every angle. This means the invisibility cloak must work for all colors of light, all directions, and all distances. Even a small mistake would make the person visible again. Another problem is that humans need to see. If a cloak bends all the light around your body, no light can enter your eyes. That means you would be invisible, but also completely blind. Scientists must find a way to let light enter the eyes while still hiding the body. This is one of the biggest challenges in invisibility research. Because of these difficulties, a full invisibility cloak for humans does not exist yet. But researchers are already testing new technologies that may solve these problems. Even though perfect invisibility is not possible yet, scientists have created technologies that can make objects look invisible. One method uses special screens in cameras. A camera records what is behind a person, and a screen in front shows the same image. This creates the illusion that the person is transparent. Another method uses advanced materials that bend certain types of light, such as microwaves or infrared waves. These cloaks can hide objects from radar or thermal cameras. This technology is already being studied for military use. Invisible vehicles, hidden sensors, and camouflage systems are being developed. Some researchers are also working on flexible cloaks that could one day fit around a human body. The results are still limited, but the progress is real. What once looked impossible is slowly becoming science. Many scientists believe that invisibility will become possible in the future, but not in the way movies show it. Instead of magical cloaks, we may use advanced materials, smart fabrics, and digital camouflage. Future clothing could change color automatically to match the background. Special surfaces could bend light just enough to make a person difficult to see. In military technology, invisibility research is already very active. Some experiments aim to hide objects from satellites, radar, or night vision cameras. In the future, invisibility may not mean disappearing completely, but becoming almost impossible to notice. And this brings us to the biggest question. If humans can become invisible, should we? Science is moving faster than ever, and invisibility research is still continuing. Scientists are developing new metamaterials, smarter fabrics, and advanced optical systems that can control light in ways that were impossible before. Some researchers believe that future invisibility cloaks could be flexible, thin, and wearable. Instead of heavy equipment, a person might wear a special suit that bends light around the body. There are also experiments with active camouflage, where tiny cameras and screens copy the background and display it on the surface of an object. This does not make something truly invisible, but it can make it very hard to see. In the future, invisibility may be used in medicine, engineering, and space technology. Doctors could use light-bending materials to see inside the body more clearly. Engineers could hide sensitive equipment from heat or radiation. Spacecraft could use special coatings to avoid extreme sunlight. The science of invisibility is not magic anymore. It is becoming a real technology. Even if invisibility becomes possible, it could create serious problems. If someone could become invisible, it would be very hard to stop crimes. Security systems depend on cameras, light, and detection devices. An invisible person could move without being noticed. There are also privacy concerns. People might feel unsafe if invisibility technology is used in the wrong way. Because of this, scientists and governments study not only how to create invisibility, but also how to control it. Every powerful technology in history has brought both benefits and risks. Electricity, nuclear energy, and artificial intelligence all changed the world. Invisibility could do the same. The question is not only can we become invisible, but also how we should use that power. For thousands of years, invisibility existed only in myths and stories. It was a magical power that humans could only imagine. Today, science has shown that invisibility is not impossible. Light can be bent, materials can be designed, and objects can be hidden from view. We are still far from making a human completely invisible, but the progress is real. What once seemed like fantasy is slowly becoming technology. Maybe in the future, invisibility cloaks will exist. Maybe they will be used for science, medicine, or exploration. Or maybe they will remain limited to special situations. But one thing is certain. The more we understand light, the closer we get to controlling what we see. And what we cannot see. And the idea of becoming invisible is no longer just a dream.
Subscribe Info Beyond Borders now for more mind-blowing knowledge.